A dozen seizures at a brothel, doctors who wouldn't listen, and paranoia from stabbings. In a candid reveal, these athletes unmask their brushes with death. After splitting with his ex-wife Khloe Kardashian, Lamar Odom nearly lost his life in 2015 at the Love Ranch brothel in Nevada. It was later reported that Odom suffered a dozen seizures and 6 strokes after passing out. According to the Los Angeles Times, it was all from ingesting cocaine, as well as 10 doses of a Viagra-like drug. Odom then spent nearly 3 months in a Los Angeles hospital before heading to a rehab facility. In a 2019 appearance on Good Morning America, Odom explained why he went to the Love Ranch with drugs in the first place.
I was just thinking about trying to go have fun.
You weren't thinking?
I wasn't thinking.
After recovering, Odom increased his profile. He released his memoir, Darkness to Light, and appeared on TV shows like Dancing with the Stars and Celebrity Big Brother 3. But based on what the former Laker told the Los Angeles Times in 2019, he was just happy to be alive. Odom said to the outlet, "My doctors say I'm a walking miracle. They're amazed that I'm here. When I woke up and I couldn't talk or walk, I never thought I would be here. I never thought I would play basketball again or talk to you. Just to be here is a win for me." Former University of Florida basketball player Keyontae Johnson said during an interview with FloridaGators.com, "I would say I'm blessed to be here. There's just not a lot more to say than that." He was talking about collapsing during a game in Tallahassee in December 2020 while playing against Florida State. Luckily for Johnson, there was a cardiologist who was sitting near the floor who quickly leaped into action. Johnson explained, "I was passed out. I could have died. She jumped out on the court and saved me. If it isn't for her, I may not have had a second chance in life. You just can't take life for granted." But after being in critical condition, placed in a medically induced coma, and checked out by a team of cardiologists, the then 21-year-old was able to join his team just 3 weeks later. Johnson was advised against playing, however, so he helped his team on the bench. Then, 15 months after he collapsed, Johnson started in a game on senior day. It was a way for his coach and team to honor him. Later, he transferred to Kansas State to play for the Wildcats. As of 2023, the reason that Johnson passed out hasn't been revealed. In a 2022 piece for Elle magazine, Serena Williams wrote about a harrowing experience that she went through after giving birth to her daughter, Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr., in 2017.
I don't really know what to expect with a baby. This is all something fresh and new.
In 2010, Williams was diagnosed with blood clots in her lungs, and that same health issue resurfaced after her little one arrived. After having a C-section, Williams told the nurses and others that she was in pain. She was experiencing heavy coughing on top of that and couldn't move her legs or back. It was later determined that Williams had a blood clot in one of her arteries, as well as other clots that doctors had to keep from moving to her lungs. Plus, she had other health issues and had to undergo 4 surgeries. The thing is, based on Williams' account, the blood clots were determined after she demanded a CAT scan from the nurses, who initially dismissed her pain. The 23-time Grand Slam winner wrote, "I fought hard, and I ended up getting the CAT scan. They needed to insert a filter into my veins to break up the clot before it reached my heart." In the same feature, Williams wrote about the importance of being heard by doctors after trying desperately to convince them that something was wrong. She continued, "Being heard and appropriately treated was the difference between life or death for me." University of Iowa football player Erick All has an incredible life story that sounds like something straight out of a tearjerker movie. At the tender age of 5 months old, All nearly died in a house fire in Indiana. The day was February 13th, 2001. Erick's father, Erick All Sr., was home with him while his mother Kelly was at work. When the fire broke out, Erick was in his playpen, but his father couldn't get to him because of the thick smoke. However, firefighter Tom Broyles was able to rescue the infant through a window. Erick's little body appeared lifeless at first. That was until EMT Sean Phoenix gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Ready for the tears? Years later, Broyles saw that same kid score a touchdown in the 2021 Big Ten Championship. Broyles' wife reached out to Erick's mother over social media after the game, and the families reconnected. While meeting Broyles for the first time, Erick told him,
"Thank you guys so much. If it weren't for you guys, man, I wouldn't even be here."
So why was the mixed martial artist Lerone Murphy wearing a bandage around his head in an Instagram photo that he posted in May of 2022? It was because of a nasty bicycle accident that almost took his life. But it wasn't just the accident that almost did Murphy in, according to his post. It was how long it took for help to arrive. Murphy wrote in the caption of his photo, "Yesterday while cycling, an oncoming car turned right without looking, and we collided at speed, which caused a nasty head wound. The ambulance took 45 minutes to arrive, which nearly caused me to bleed out. I'm here, still breathing, for a greater purpose clearly." Murphy's nickname is the Miracle, which seems more than fitting. That's because the bicycle accident was his second brush with death, as he indicated. Prior to becoming an MMA fighter, Murphy was shot in the face in 2013 when he was just 21 years old. In 2019, he told MMA Fighting that the shooting got him to turn his life around and start training, a decision that led to his professional fighting career. Shaquille O'Neal helped lead both the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat to NBA titles. By his own admission, however, Shaq was far from a leader as a young person growing up on a military base in Germany. But one incident from his teen years would change O'Neal forever. As reported by Fox Sports, he shared the story in 2022 at an event called An Evening with Shaq. After a night out, some of O'Neal's buddies went for a drive without the future NBA star. Shaq recalled, "They decided to drive in Germany during a winter storm. Something told me not to get in the car, and I didn't get in the car, and everybody in the car passed away. After that, I was like, you know what? I have to be a leader. I can't just follow guys because I'm trying to be cool." And how's this for O'Neal putting his days of following others behind him while becoming a leader? In 2012, he received a doctorate from Barry University in organizational learning and leadership. In 2022, WWE legend Paul Triple H Levesque announced his retirement. This decision came about following a scary episode involving his heart the year before. Detailing the ordeal to Stephen A. Smith on Stephen A.'s World, Levesque described first having shortness of breath, which he felt after being on a grueling work schedule, but he thought the ill feeling was COVID-19. Then, after getting tested for the virus and coming up negative, Levesque found out that he had viral pneumonia. That was before he learned there was fluid in his lungs and heart. From there, Levesque, who was experiencing heart failure, received a text message from one of his doctors that said he should pack a bag and head to the emergency room. At one point in the interview, he got emotional, saying, "There's moments when they're putting you out for stuff and you think, is this it? Do you wake up from this? That's tough to swallow. It makes you think differently about life." Thanks to his physicians, he was able to return to his family, but don't expect to see him wrestle anytime soon. The wrestler continued,
No, I would never wrestle again.
Just like any professional sports star, Paul Pierce has seen his fair share of ups and downs in his career, but his biggest challenge was probably dealing with the aftermath of being stabbed around 10 times at Boston's Buzz Club in 2000. He was playing for the Boston Celtics at the time. While recalling the incident, Pierce told the All the Smoke podcast, "I caught myself talking to some young ladies. Next thing I know, a guy approached me, like, don't talk to her. Next thing you know, I'm in a tussle with him. I was fighting with 3 guys. I didn't even know I was being stabbed." After arriving at the hospital, Pierce said he kept asking the medical professionals if he was going to die. He also suffered mentally and emotionally afterward, saying that he couldn't sleep, hired 24-hour police surveillance, and began carrying a weapon.